Welcome, welcome. Yes, yes, it's week four, and we're really tucking into the spreads this week. We've got a full slate. We're going to call every NFL spread and give our opinion on where the line will fall. On the season, Mike, you're picking 53.3%. A very good profit being made by you so far. Myself, can't say the same. I'm down at 35%. A real stodgy start to the year for me.
Oh no, I'm sorry, mate. Well, it might pick up. It's one of those things. It's peaks and troughs, as you know. So
Yeah.
uh, at one point, I was at the lofty heights of 60% last year, and then it cratered down the stretch. So yeah, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it is hard. It's hard when Carolina beat the Falcons 30 to zip. It's just tough to see those things coming, really.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Um, all right, so we'll get into week four. We picked last night's game. Continuing the trend, another win for you there. You had the Hawks minus 1.5. I took the Cards. Would have been close, but some snafus from Arizona at the end there.
Snafus at the end, and then they just didn't get going
Yeah,
for far too long in that game. They almost rallied late, but it's hard to give up 17-point leads in the NFL and come back consistently.
yeah.
Um, So let me just share the trusty athletic website here, and we'll bring up our first spread live from Cork, Ireland.
Oh, yeah, George. Yeah, yeah,
Eh,
head to Dublin.
do you like Dagstown? Um, so the last time we did this was week two. I was away week three, so I think I went week two. So I think it's your honor, Tom. Here.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. Yes. Yeah, I want to take the Vikings on this. I think defense is going to travel nicely over there to the Aviva Stadium. Sorry, Croke Park, actually. Is that the same? I don't even know.
Yeah,
Um,
same thing. They
uh,
just not
it's the
sponsored by
same.
Aviva anymore. Yeah.
Right, there we go. Same thing. Yeah. So you're going to take the Vikings defense to travel. The Steelers defense has been untypically off this year so far. I think the Vikings just be more settled. I feel the Vikings have also played a lot more of these international games recently. I always seem to remember them coming across. And interestingly, I think they're going to be sticking around to play in England the week after, which
Yeah.
is very cool. But like they just seem to have had a lot of these games, and I think they're going to be ready, well coached up. I would just trust the Vikings defense to get this in what will be a 3-point game, a 2017 kind of game, very much on par with the spread here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree actually that Brian Flores led defense is right up there with some of the best defenses in the league. Uh, and I think even though Rodgers will have some answers for the blitz, it's still a confusing scheme to play against, and he's not the athlete he once was, so he won't be able to move around really. And what you pointed out earlier might be some quite heavy turf there in Ireland.
Oh
Um,
yes,
not
very
great
stodgy.
not great on the old Achilles there. Carson Wentz is the only thing that gives me doubt here. Don't think he was that impressive actually against the Bungles. The Bungles just bungled. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm if I was betting, I'd have to go with the Vikings here. So that's my pick too.
Yeah.
Sorry to agree on the first one, but I'm sure we'll have some differs along the way. Um,
Well, yeah. I'm glad you get to pick this one first because God, I do not know where I want to go on this.
yeah, Hobson's choice here. Carolina going to Foxborough, Massachusetts. Um, hmm, I'm going to take the Panthers here. They looked frisky against the Falcons. And yeah, Drake May's played solidly, but I was kind of expecting more of a kick on from his rookie year than we've seen so far. But obviously, it's a new offensive coordinator and a new scheme, so that might take a few weeks. Maybe explodes all over the Panthers here, which will which would be a bit of a disaster for me. But I just think the Panthers are playing with some pride, and even watching some all 22 of Bryce Young earlier in the season, it actually wasn't as calamitous as the stat lines made it look. He had some bad drops and some interceptions and some sacks that really weren't on him, in my opinion. So I think this will be quite a close game. The Pats probably I would pick to win if I had to pick outright, but to cover the spread, I'm going to say Panthers.
No, yeah, I am going to agree with you again. Panthers quite good at stopping the run, actually. They did a good job against the Falcons in that regard, handling Bijan. And I think we can see there the Pats leading rusher, Ramondre, just has 87 yards on the year, that's a problem for them. They haven't quite got the offensive line to get that going. So I think the Panthers are going to come and stifle them. Um, I am slightly concerned about taking the Panthers, but it's just too many points in a game against two teams that won't be in the playoffs. I'm just going to take the cover in a sloppy, low-scoring game. Fancy 5.5 being covered there.
Yeah.
Also, maybe Ted McMillan to get his first NFL touchdown. Putting a little prop bet on that one.
He's looked good actually, Tet.
He's looked good. Yeah, he's
He's looked
got the eye.
sharp actually. He looks quick, which
Yeah.
yeah, that was a question coming out of college. He was always big and physical, but was he going to be athletic enough for the league? And I think he's a big upgrade on what they had last year, so that's encouraging for them. And Leggett looks all right as well. They've got some talent actually. The on
Yeah.
offense, the Panthers. Um, all right, okay, my birds. Oh, this worked out perfectly. I didn't even do this deliberately. The Eagles are a 3.5 point road favorite against the undefeated Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The cardiac Buccaneers, as we should call them. Baker Mayfield leading 3 game-winning drives in the last 3 games. He hasn't thrown a pick yet this year. My word.
Crazy.
Um, I'm going to take the Buccaneers here. We discussed this before we jumped on here. So he we the Eagles haven't won there in the last 3, I think, off the top of my head. Famously, they absolutely bludgeoned us out of the playoffs 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then last year they beat us in the regular season down there. I don't quite know how we have to keep playing them in Raymond James every year because I
Yeah.
think at the link this would be a very even game. But yeah, down in the heat, Todd Bowles will bring the heat, and that is the Achilles heel of this entire Eagles team. Actually, is handling the blitz. It hasn't really improved under Sirianni over the 5 years, so I think it'll be a real test for the Eagles. And I actually, if I was picking outright, I probably would still take the Bucks as well. I think the Eagles might go down here. I'm a bit worried about this one.
Yep. I echo your sentiments on that. I'm going to take the Bucks as well to bring us to three agreements so far. But as we mentioned before we came on, I think Vita Vea is just such a huge presence here. And if you can stop the Eagles rushing, then I mean they show they can come back when they passed last week against the Rams. But yeah, I just think they're really going to clamp down here, the Bucks, and stop that rushing attack. And then we'll see what the Eagles have. Mike Evans is out. But you can argue he hasn't really looked himself anyway this year anyway. And Egbuka's picking up the mantle there pretty well in his place. So yeah, I do fancy the Bucks here to cover the field goal.
Sneaky look at under the 44.5 points as well. I don't think this will be
Yeah.
a high scoring game. I think this will be a real slobber knocker. I'm looking forward to watching it, but I'm just worried about the outcome. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that'll be a good game. Best game of the early slates that I've seen so far, although let's keep going through them. I might have missed one. Um, so, yeah, not a great game, really. But Commanders at Falcons, Your Honor.
Um, yep. Is Jen Daniels playing? Or is it
Yeah,
Mariota?
he practiced fully this week. I mean, if he doesn't play after that, that would be a first. Quarterbacks always play if they practice, in my experience.
Yeah. Um, yeah, this is a tough. I'm probably just going to go with the Commanders here because I think they're a better football team overall. And the Falcons do have a lot of deficiencies still on defense, and I think Kingsbury can exploit some of that, particularly in the vertical passing game. The Falcons have struggled with the secondary for a number of years now, and also not have much of a pass rush either. So, yeah, I think the Commanders are just going to have too much here in the dome. Expect the Commanders to put up some points, and actually might go on the over on the total points here. But yeah, Commanders by 7 in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Commanders as well. First asterisks of the season, I reserve the right to change this if Daniels isn't ready to go. I assume that's why this line is so close because they're not sure if
Yeah.
he's going to play or not. Because
Mm.
if he's playing, there's no way. After getting drubbed by the Panthers last week, there's no way. And looking at how Michael Penix has played this season, you can't look at that Falcons team and say they'd be a favorite against the Commanders
No.
if Daniels is playing. So I'm going to take the Commanders. I think it'll be if Daniels plays and can move around a little bit, I think that'll easily be enough to beat the Falcons. I just don't think they're a very good team.
I do believe Cousins is going to start in this one.
Oh, is he? Oh,
Yeah,
interesting. Oh, I hadn't
yeah.
seen that. Ooh, oh, that's spicy. Actually, that's brought some interest to this for me now. I want to see how because we're all watching this Michael Penix experiment from afar, and obviously you and I were aghast when they picked him on draft day. And then
Yeah.
last year, then last year you could see kind of the logic of it because he played well, and then this year he's not playing well. It's a bit of a mess down there.
Oh, Jesus. No, sorry. I was wrong on that. Sorry. Penix is going to start. I just led you astray.
Oh well, I got all excited for that then. The return of coupons. You like that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it can't be
Oh,
long, but no, I think the headline got me misled there during the week. So
clickbait,
yeah.
clickbait got you.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, yo, yo. Uh, I'm going to say the Bills here.
mm,
The
yeah.
Saints look completely malign. I, the Bills' defense is pretty poor. So I guess you could say, well, the Saints might score 20, but I mean, I think the Bills could score 50 here if they turn up and they're on like absolutely peak form and Josh fancies it. Then I think this could be an absolute, yeah, this could be an absolute demolition job. So I'm going to take the Bills.
Yeah, I agree. The Saints don't have enough on offense to keep this thing anywhere near as close to cover the 15 and a half. We saw a trend last year that you're better off actually backing the favorite on some of these double digit spreads. So I'm going to bet that that continues here and the Bills do this like a 40 to 21 sort of game. I agree with you. Could get out of hand here.
Yeah, yeah,
Saints
they're
going.
pretty.
Saints played in Seattle last week as well, so a big cross
Mm.
country trip for them. Two away game. That's rough.
And then up to the northeast, which isn't exactly like I know it's not nowhere near as far as cross country, but it's not ideal, is it? You'd rather be in Florida or
Yeah.
something if you were the Saints.
Mm.
All right, what's going on here? I can't. I have to actually physically press a button. Dear me, the Athletic annoying me with their ticker. I'm ticking with the ticker. Um, right, Colts, Rams, game of the century. No,
Yeah.
you to go first. Yeah, you to go first.
Yeah. Yeah, very fun one here. I think from what I've seen, I'm going to take the Colts to cover because I can't see this getting out of their range in terms of dragging it back in. The Rams do look good on offense, but then the way to beat the Colts will be just getting them down early and making Danny or Indiana Jones, as they call him now, having to make some decisions. If the Colts run the ball and keep things on script and on strategy, they're definitely going to cover 3.5 here. So while I think the Rams could win, I do think the field goal cover gives you a nice little cushion there. Colts cover. Colts, I should say, are the only 100% against the spread so far.
Oh wow. Well, that's
Yeah,
because obviously they will have been, at the start of the season there wasn't much
yeah,
expected from them. Okay. Oh, this is really difficult because I can see a scenario where the Rams really bounce back from a game they should have won against the Eagles last week and just
yeah.
show that they're a good team and just absolutely come in and give the Colts a bit of a handling here and just bring them back down to earth a little bit because it does
Mm.
feel like it's all going a bit too well for the Colts at the moment.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I get that. Yeah,
and I think in the Colts' offensive line has looked excellent, but Verse and Fisk are a problem.
yeah.
Um, I'm going to differ here. I'm going to say the Rams at home. They pick
Nice.
themselves back off the canvas, and I just this actually isn't really based on any really detailed NFL knowledge or anything like that. I've just got a gut feeling it's the Cinderella start for the Colts might come to an end here.
Nice. I can see that happening. I reckon it might go one or two more games for the Colts. We'll see.
I mean, because the Rams are they're a proper team. Like they might be in the NFC Championship game, the Super Bowl, and I don't think the Colts have been tested like that
That's
yet.
fair. Yeah.
So we'll see. Um,
very good late slate actually. This.
Yeah, so the late slate I haven't even looked at yet, and it just has to be better than the early slate because there isn't a lot to tantalize in those early games. Is it me to go first this time? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Jags at Niners. Yeah, this is quite a fun one. Your usual Trevor Lawrence experience. He's kind of all over the place, but the offense as a whole has looked better, and their defense is actually playing really well.
Yeah.
Uh, as always, whoever they play at quarterback, whoever they've got hurt, the Niners are always favored against anybody. So much money goes in on them. Uh, Niners at home. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take the Niners. Jags
Yeah.
have got a fairly long journey there. Um, Niners will have Purdy back, I think, by the sounds of it,
Hmm.
um, because Jones is injured now. Don't know if you heard that. Jones has got like a quadriceps or something. Um,
Oh God.
so neither of them are 100%, but given that, or it's a knee, sorry, but given that, I think they're just going to risk Purdy in this.
Yeah.
So um, yeah, I don't know. I watched the All 22 of the Texans offense last week against the Jags defense. And again, that was one where, similar to Bryce Young earlier, CJ Stroud didn't play that badly. He threw one awful interception, but that aside, I mean, they should have won that game. They had some bad luck and some bad calls, actually, officiating calls. So I actually think the Jags defense maybe might be exposed here because it's still a good Niners offense, even if they are missing the most of the Avengers. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to take I'm going to say the Niners here.
No, I'm going to differ to make this one interesting. I like the Jags defense against the Niners offense. I think that's going to be the story of where this game can be won for the Jags. I still don't think the Niners are a 4-0 football team. I don't think they're that good. So let's uh, let's shake things up here. Jacksonville 12 sacks on the year from this defense. Definitely bringing the heat. A very talented defensive front. So I think that's going to help them win this one, actually. A rogue road win here for the Jags.
Yeah, that's a good call because the Niners offensive line is never vaunted really.
Yeah,
They sort of get by due to the system as much as anything else. They don't really have that many. They have
yeah,
obviously they have one great offensive lineman and then bits and bobs really.
yeah,
Yeah, probably the game of the week as a whole here.
yeah.
Ravens at Chiefs.
Both
Oh,
with a losing record here coming into this one. It's quite simple for me. I'm going to take the Chiefs to cover 2.5. What's been blown out of proportion so far. We have had these sort of starts before to the year, and then we get things going kind of after Thanksgiving, that stretch. So the start doesn't worry me too much. People blowing up about Kelsey and Reed going at each other on the sidelines. It's all a bit of noise. And the Ravens just don't win these games, Mike. It's simple as that. So I don't know why you can take the Ravens at -2.5. In every game, the Lions, we saw against the Bills earlier this year, they just can't win these big games. So I'm going to take the Chiefs on maybe a walk-off Butker field goal or a stupid Ravens defensive penalty or something to get the Chiefs to win.
no, I agree. I agree. I don't think the Ravens have given you enough evidence. They're the best at absolutely dismantling the middle class and the very poor teams in the NFL, but they actually don't have a very good record against elite teams. I mean, the Eagles just handled them last year. Like we won
Mm,
by 14 points, I think, at the link. We just absolutely destroyed them. Wasn't even
yeah,
close. And I think Spags will have something for Lamar et al. Derrick Henry better hold on to the football. I'll
yeah,
say that. Yeah, and I think Mahomes just needs to look at this line before the game to get himself fired up. He will absolutely detest being a home underdog to anybody, to be honest. So I think you might get some of the best of Mahomes. Any of those receivers coming back? Do you know? Worthy
I
back?
think Worthy's going to play. Yeah,
Good. Yeah, good.
um,
You do need that. You do need that explosion on the outside. It's been
yeah,
very, very one-paced from the Chiefs so far. But to be fair, all of your three young, probably would be starting receivers have not been playing, which is pretty
yeah,
tough. You do that to any NFL offense, they're going to struggle. So yeah, over as you say, overblown. I think.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
Um,
Oh,
Kidoke,
this is a oh good lord.
Bears at the Raiders. Um,
Hmm.
I guess the Raiders are favored because you, I guess, one game sample size against what a Dallas defense, which is going to be in the bottom, is going to be cellar dwelling unit this year. Most
Yeah.
likely the Cowboys. So God, they look slow on tape. When I watched the film, watched the Caleb Williams film of that. God, those Cowboys look so slow without Parsons and Diggs. It's embarrassing. Um,
Mm.
I uh,
Tough to take the Raiders though.
it is tough to. That's you've hit the nail on the head because I want to take the Raiders. I like Pete Carroll. I like Gino. I like the running back. Come on, what's his name? He's Boise State alum. You all know it.
Genty.
Genty. Oh, it's right there on the screen. I can
Yeah,
always confuse him with all of your other running backs.
yeah, you
Uh,
do.
uh, so I want to pick the Raiders, but I don't know. I liked what I saw last week. I think Ben Johnson is getting this thing on the tracks a little bit here. The offensive line looked like a different, completely different unit from the first week and from last season, last week against Dallas. Although they have got to deal with Max Crosby this week, which will be a much sterner test. So, no, actually, I've changed my mind. No. Crosby will cause problems, and they've got to go cross country. And they're an improved team, but they're not going to be a they're not going to have a winning record this year. The Bears. Let's not get carried away. So yeah, I'm going to take the Raiders here to win at home by a field goal in a sloppy game in a slop fest.
I like that. Well, I was actually going to differ and pretty much for the points you just raised, but I'm now going to agree with you. I do think the Raiders cover this. Um, this is a out of the division game for the Bears against an AFC opponent away. I always said this year I'm going to take the Bears on the under on their season wins. So this is the sort of game they're going to lose if I have to stick by that bet. So yeah, I'm going to quite confident take the Raiders here. Well, I shouldn't say confidently. I probably wouldn't be putting any money on this, Mike, as I'm sure you won't. But yeah, I'll just take the home team to cover.
God, I bet everybody wishes they could play Dallas every week. Look at Caleb Williams now with 7 touchdowns on the year after a routing of the Cowboys. That's lovely to
Even
see.
Luther Burden got in on the action last week.
Yeah,
So,
he came out of the dungeon. He came out of Roman Abramovich's dungeon there. Left Scotty Parker behind. Came out to score a touchdown. Uh, there's a reference I know you and I will get. That's good. Right, Packers at Cowboys in the game of America's game of the week, the must-see game. The
well, as
train.
I mentioned to you, I'll already be out on Sunday night, so I'll be missing this, much to
Well,
my chagrin.
I'll be. You can see here on the screen. It's at 1:20 a.m. UK time. I'll be passed out. I won't be out. I'll be passed out. So yeah, I won't be
Yeah.
watching this either.
Um, all right, I think I've got to pick it, haven't I? Well, 6.5 is
Someone's got to.
it's a big line to give. I'm going to take the Cowboys to cover that. I think there's a slight reaction to a bad day against the Bears. The Cowboys did look very good against the Eagles in that opener. The
Just,
offense is quite good.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I wouldn't normally, but I just do you know CD Lamb's injured? Did you know that?
I did forget, but that's not
Okay.
gonna.
Okay. All right. That's not going to sway you. I wanted to give you
Uh,
all the pertinent information. That's
no,
all.
I get it. That's probably influenced it as well. I think unless a quarterback's injured, I don't really read too much into
Fair enough.
skill position players getting because I think people can always step up. So Pickens has been good. I think that they're going to get enough done offensively here, the Cowboys, and I think that the Packers will be reeling after that game against the Browns last week, but they were exposed a little bit towards the end of that game there when stuff got squeaky bum time. The Packers kind of fell apart. So
Yeah.
I'd expect the Cowboys to cover here, 6.5 at home.
I'm going to differ. I'm going to take
Yeah.
the Packers. And it gives me a lot of joy to pick against the Cowboys as a six and a
Oh,
half
cool.
underdog. Yeah, probably the best defense in the league at the moment. And I mean, 2 years ago, Dak Prescott was seeing ghosts against the Packers in the playoffs at home, and their defense has just gotten a lot better since then. So, and there's no CD Lamb. So I don't think Jordan Love's going to come in here and tear it up and throw like 4 touchdowns like Caleb Williams did last week because their offense has looked disjointed at points, especially against the Browns. But
Yeah.
I mean, how many Parsons sacks are we going to see? 2, 3? I mean, he's going to be flying around. So I'm just going to take the Packers here. I'm happy to be wrong on this one, but my gut says the Pack are going to put a bit of a drubbing on them and really put some pressure on. I don't actually think on Schottenheimer. I actually think on the Jones clan. Really,
Yeah.
they're the masters of their own downfall here.
Yeah. That's true.
I think Schottenheimer. I'm not the biggest Marty Schottenheimer or whatever his name is, Schotty's kid guy, but
Yeah.
not like his defender or anything. But um, I feel a
It's a
bit
bit of
sorry. I feel sorry for him. I feel like he's going to get
character.
an absolute hospital pass there. To first time
Yeah.
chance being a head coach. He's got no chance really,
No, I agree.
especially in the division NFC East. Okay, Jets at Dolphins.
First of a double header on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, this really is a toilet bowl affair.
Mm.
Um, is Tyrod going to play, or is Fields going to play?
So I'll look this up quickly.
Fields' concussion, which makes me think he probably will play unless it's really bad.
Yeah, full participant yesterday.
Yeah, yeah, okay, he's playing.
Yeah.
Yep, he's playing. He's playing, but the amount of QB run we saw week 1 and the start of the week 2 game. No, sorry, it was he only played in week 1. Oh, never mind. Anyway, the amount of QB run that was actually making this offense really interesting. I think they are going to have to tone that down if he's coming back from a concussion.
Yeah.
So then we'll see what Justin Fields like as a purely a drop back passer, which does scare me a little bit.
Mm.
Um, Dolphins favored. I mean,
It is a tough time of year to play down there at Hard Rock Stadium.
it is. It is. And that Bills game, it was close for a while, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously the Bills are a better team than the Jets. Oh God. I'm gonna take the Fins here because I I just think yeah, for the reasons you've brought up, the temperature, the heat, the humidity, and also prime time Justin Fields throwing from the pocket rather than his normal play style, shall we say, it does concern me a little bit. So I'm going to take the Dolphins here.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I don't really want to pick this, but guns to my head, yeah, I'll take the Dolphins. Yeah, not much more to add on this, really. They did get their run game going a little better against the Bills. Not the best defense, but a bit, sprinkling a bit more Ollie Gordon in there, who I think could be a good solution to them because they can't run A chain 20 times a game. So I think if they can get that run game going, the Jets are one of the most beleaguered franchises in the league at the moment. So I do think the Dolphins will have this one at home.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've rattled through these. We've still got 10 minutes left to do the last one.
And to rattle through them.
Yeah, yeah, we certainly have. Uh, so
Yeah. It's a mile
Bungles,
away for the final.
it's Bungles at Broncos, and it's a
Oh,
tough
big
one.
spread.
It's a tough one to pick because Jake Browning has been a bit of a disaster, um, which I didn't expect actually. He's been okay in relief before,
Yeah.
but I guess
And
the league,
he wasn't the first game when he came in. He was all right.
yeah, but
It's
I
the
guess the
Jack.
league, because Burrow gets hurt so much, I guess the league has got quite a lot of tape on him now, Browning, so that might be hindering him slightly.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to take the Bungles to cover here because I think I've watched a lot of the Broncos the last few years, and they're a team that kind of plays to their opposition. The Broncos aren't really a team that wants to that fancies getting out to a 14-point lead and putting someone down. They just aren't that unit. Not built to play like that. Not really with explosive plays in their arsenal. And they've got a good defense, but they always just get into these slugfests. No more so at home actually. So I'm going to take the Bungles. The only thing that concerns me is their running game is atrocious. The Bungles. So I think the Broncos win by 7 on the strength of their rushing attack. But 7.5, I'm going to fancy the Bungles to cover this one.
Yeah. The Bengals' leading rusher is Chase Brown, and he's averaging 2 yards a carry. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could have told you he wasn't a bell cow back coming out of college, but
Yeah, you watch a lot of Illinois, don't you? Yeah, you
yeah,
probably
I do.
saw.
Yeah,
Yeah, both the Brown boys. I like Sydney. Plays safety for the Eagles.
yeah.
I quite like Sydney. He's plays a bit of third safety in special teams. He's a good player. All right, that is completely off the point.
It's a tough one. Maybe it's not
Uh,
enough. Maybe the Broncos will win by a lot. I don't know. They play to their opposition for me.
yeah, no, I agree with everything you've said. That we've never under Peyton and Bo Nix, we haven't had statement win like big like we're
Yeah,
not. They might have won by sort of 2 touchdowns at some point, but it's never been like wow they just dismantled a bad team yet. Um, I mean, Bo Nix has got off to a really slow start. It's concerning. Um,
yeah.
I'll still take the Broncos here,
Oh,
partly to
yeah,
differ. Partly to
yeah,
differ. So I don't have a strong feeling about this. Don't be worried about it. Yeah, I haven't got any good reasoning. I just think potentially this Broncos unit is a bit like the Vikings unit that really made the Bengals suffer last week. I think
yeah,
if they can take the ball away early and often, the Bengals will just collapse in on themselves again. And I think at Mile High under the lights, I think there is a bit of potential for that. The lights might be a bit too bright for Jake there. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, I'm gonna say the Broncos win by quite a lot, but purely because of their defense, not because there's some offensive explosion around the corner for Peyton's boys.
Yeah, that's a good point. And again, I'd look at the under on this one, as we've said in a few games this year. Just not there's not going to be more than 40 points scored in this one.
Yeah, that does interest me why it's such a high number on some of these games. I guess they just take, there's probably a very sophisticated algorithm behind it, but
Mm,
just when you look at a backup quarterback on the road, I mean, how many points are the Bengals going to score against what was the number one defense of the NFL last year? I mean,
yeah.
max 20, absolute max. And then when did the Broncos score more than 20? Not very often. So yeah, I agree with
No.
you. I agree with you.
All right. That
All
wraps
right,
it up.
that does. So ends this chapter of the NFL Odyssey. Um,
Yeah, well, a few good games in that late slate. None of the prime time games really doing it for me this week, but alas, we'll see where we ended up last week as usual.
Absolutely. All right. Well, until then, go well.
Oh well. I'll just,
What a
our next
balls up, Tom.
yeah, we're gonna go to Cleveland, Detroit next. Missing a few in the early schedule there. Probably no thanks to the Athletics ticker there, but Cleveland, Detroit's a big spread here. 10
Yeah.
points.
It's come up straight away now. I don't know why it wasn't coming up before. Okay, so who's go first?
I'll
Let's just
pick.
say, yeah, just say you.
Yeah, I've got a relatively strong feel. I think that the Lions are going to cover this one. It's going to be too much on offense. While the Packers struggled against the Browns, it was a home game for the Browns, and the Browns going to a dome is not a recipe for them to win a game, unfortunately, or cover. So I'm going to take Detroit to just blow them away here.
Yeah, in Detroit, in the dome. I agree.
Mm,
I think this offense looks fantastic again. I don't know what happened in week one against the Packers. They just didn't show up, but since then they've been awesome. So yeah, give me the Lions as well at home. No place
yeah.
like the dome.
Next we've got Another in the early slate is Chargers going to Giants.
Oh no, I've clicked the wrong one. It's all gone wrong, Tom. We've had some balls ups today.
Well, that's
It's
all right. We've
tiring.
got a big full slate.
It's
So
tiring.
what to keep track of.
It's the end of the workday here. Let's just. Oh,
It is.
404. This page is not available. Oh goodness, now we've got technical issues. What's
Well,
the
let's
line,
pick
Tom? Tell us the
Charge.
line.
I'll tell you, Chargers at -6.5, going to
Oh,
the Giants. I'm going to take the Chargers. I think they'll do a kind of Chiefs job on the Giants. Jackson Dart's going to start for the Giants. And you can't really take him because you don't know what that's going to look like. Still a very young quarterback at the start of his career. So I'm going to take the Chargers to get this thing done defensively.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be fun to take them as a Giants fan, just hoping that Dart's the man, but we've got no evidence of that yet. Um, Good luck to the lad, though. I did enjoy his college film. He was a lot of fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay, Houston -7.5. Have they watched Houston this year?
No.
Although I have watched the Titans.
Yeah, but the Titans were better last week. They're
I
definitely more.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
And I think Ward is slowly getting better. And look, he's not, as you see, famous last words, but he's actually not turning the ball over. I think there is a
Yeah.
kid lose a fumble, so that's a little bit misleading. But um, yeah, I'm gonna say the Texans get off the schneid here because I thought they were a bit unlucky against the Jags. They should have really won that game. And they're a better team than the Titans right now, but I think the Titans are feisty here and keep it close.
I think so. If the AFC South's shown us something, it's you can't take a team to cover a touchdown because those games just are never like that. We saw last week the divisional, who was playing against them last week? It was the Jags. It really went down to the wire. So many mistakes in the final 2 minutes. I mean, just a very typical AFC South game. So, yeah, a mistake-laden Titans cover here.
Look at this
Um,
points per game, 28th plays
oh,
32nd. Can you the over under is 38 and a half on
God,
the
it is
board.
low. That's low.
That's low. That's so low.
All right, well,
Um,
that actually concludes. We've actually done them all now, Mike. Good job. We got through.
what a mess. All right, we'll do better next week. Go well
All right,
again.
go on.